Welcome to podcast number 21 of our AI-generated news summary. Let's dive into the summaries of our top stories. Our next story is titled, As Trump Takes a Victory Lap, the Crypto Faithful Kiss the Ring. Donald Trump was voted back into the White House on Wednesday morning. A victory for Trump marks the start of a promising new chapter, they say. Under the Democratic administration led by President Joe Biden, crypto companies have felt they were being singled out for persecution. Our next story is titled, Bitcoin ETFs see highest daily outflows ever as traders brace for election day volatility. The 12-spot Bitcoin ETFs in the market lost $579.5 million on Monday. That's a record daily outflow for the funds since they first came to market in January. Bitcoin has been volatile in the week leading up to the vote. Our next story is titled, The Worst People in the World Are Making a Ton of Money After Trump's Victory. Donald Trump has won the presidency and businesses connected with him and his allies are soaring. According to early financial reports, winners include banks, crypto-related stocks, and private prison companies. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high of $73,737, a surge of almost 10%. Trump, led by his son Barron, is a very crypto-friendly president. Our next story is titled, Volatility, Higher Rates, and Surging Bitcoin. Here's what analysts are saying about Trump's victory. Donald Trump's victory is set to herald a new era of higher inflation and tighter monetary policy, analysts say. The economic impact of Trump's second term is likely to be volatile, said Lindsay James, investment strategist at Quilter Investments. The Federal Reserve cut rates for the first time in 4 years in September, and is expected to cut again at its November meeting. Our next story is titled, The Dow Jones Jumps Over 1,300 Points After Trump Wins the Election. Stocks and cryptocurrencies surged after former President Trump won the presidential election. Wall Street investors perceive Trump as more favorable to business interests. Some investors also welcomed the speed with which this election was decided, after the 2020 presidential contest dragged out for days. Our next story is titled, Silicon Valley is officially grieving over Trump but quietly gleeful over a possible tech deal. Resurgence. In the aftermath of Donald Trump's clear win, some of tech's denizens stewed on what will happen next for their industry. Even in their sadness following Wednesday's results, traces of cautious optimism started to appear. In conversations with over a dozen VCs and founders, there was a sense that the regulatory climate might soften. Our next story is titled, Trump Media, Tesla, and Crypto Stocks Surge as Trump Wins, and Clean Energy Companies Tumble. Donald Trump's victory in the presidential election boosted shares of his social media company, Elon Musk's Tesla, as well as cryptocurrencies and related stocks on Wednesday. The former president's re-election sent renewable energy stocks tumbling in pre-market trading as traders bet his administration would be less friendly. Our next story is titled, Trump Trade, Election News Leads to Biggest One-Day Stock Market Gain in 2 Years. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rocketed 3.6%, its biggest one-day jump since November 2022. The S&P 500 shot up 2.5% while the Nasdaq climbed nearly 3%. The biggest winners were companies and sectors that investors are betting will benefit from President-elect Trump's policies. Our next story is titled, The Trump Trade is Taking Off on Election Night. Trump's win has resulted in a continuation of the so-called Trump trade. Central to the trade are Trump's plans for a near-universal tariff and mass deportations. A Trump victory is viewed as an inflationary event, which would fuel higher prices and wage growth. Our next story is titled, Coinbase, MicroStrategy and other crypto stocks are soaring after Trump's election win. Bitcoin reached an all-time high Tuesday night, crossing the $75,000 mark. Companies tied to the crypto, such as Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Marathon Digital, Riot Platforms, and Tesla, saw significant gains on Wednesday. Individuals and groups linked to crypto companies donated millions to Trump's campaign. Our next story is titled, Bitcoin Hits All-Time High. Bitcoin hit an all-time high of $74,304.42 on Tuesday night during the U.S. elections. Donald Trump has positioned himself as the pro-crypto candidate in recent weeks and even launched his own coin. Trump has promised to make the U.S. make America the crypto capital of the planet. Our next story is titled, Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high with crypto investors bullish on Donald Trump's prospects. Bitcoin surged to a new all-time high just above $75,000 late Tuesday night, a gain of more than 10% in 24 hours. The leading cryptocurrency hit a new record even before Trump was declared the winner early Wednesday morning. The rally underscored renewed investor enthusiasm for Bitcoin amid heightened political uncertainty. Our next story is titled, Donald Trump's election win sparked a Bitcoin boom. What's next for crypto? Donald Trump has clinched victory in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Bitcoin briefly crossed $75,000 on Monday morning, setting a new all-time high. The crypto community is buzzing, with celebrations sweeping across forums and social media. That concludes our AI-generated news summary for today. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode.